I'm going to tell you something your soul already knows. You weren't sent here to be liked. You're sent here to be light. That's why you feel the way you do. That's why you struggled with fitting in. That's why people misunderstand you. That's why you've been called too sensitive, too dramatic, too intense, too emotional, too different. Because your presence distorts the distortion. Your existence threatens the illusion. Your voice shakes the old systems at their roots even when you whisper. You don't even have to try. And you spent your life wondering what's wrong with you. Why people react to you the way they do. Why the places you go don't feel safe even when they seem normal. Why people project on you, challenge you, copy you, try to silence you, or steal from your light. It's because you weren't made to be accepted. You were made to be authentic. And this world doesn't know what to do with the authentic ones. It never has. So if you've been trying to be liked, trying to be understood, trying to keep the peace while slowly losing yourself in the process, stop. Please stop. Because that is not your path. That's not your frequency or your assignment. You're not here to dim down. You're here to transmit. You're not here to convince people to believe you. You're here to remind the ones who already do. You are a transmitter of divine truth, even when you don't feel like it, even when you mess up, even when you have days where you cry or give in to something you don't want to give into, or break down, or scroll for hours. Try to remember why you started this path at all. The transmission is still happening because the codes aren't based on your performance. They're built into your essence. When you speak, even if your voice shakes, you're activating memory in others. When you post, even if you feel small, you're pinging the grid. When you rest, even if it feels like hiding, you're stabilizing the frequency. You are not lazy. You are not confused. You are not crazy. You are encoded. Let me say that again. You are encoded. You came here with a blueprint inside your DNA. Some people call it the indigo template. Others call it the crystalline light body or the Sophia seed. Whatever name you resonate with, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're not like everyone else because you weren't meant to be. You came to be a portal, a bridge between dimensions, a living key that unlocks memory, healing, courage, and truth. And when you try to shrink yourself down to what the world expects, it doesn't just hurt you, it hurts them. Because your light is what they were waiting for, even if they don't know it yet. And I know how painful it can be to carry this frequency, the loneliness, the spiritual fatigue, the overwhelm, the imposter syndrome, the moments you look around and think, am I even making a difference? You are. You are. You are. You're making a difference just by existing in this density. The earth is heavier than where you came from. That's why your body aches. That's why your nervous system is overwhelmed. That's why you feel exhausted even after sleeping. Because you're not just living, you're anchoring light. You're stabilizing a frequency. You're reprogramming the grid every time you align with your mission. Here's what the mission really is. Not to go viral, not to be famous, not to win arguments online, not to fix everybody's wounds. Your mission is to remember and then to remind. To remember who you are, to remember where you came from, to remember what the earth feels like when it's healed, to remember what divinity feels like when it's embodied, and then to remind others that they are not broken, they are not forgotten, they are not alone, they are not too late. And I'm going to speak this for you right now. You do not need to be liked. You need to be light. You release the need to explain yourself to people who don't want to understand. You release the illusion that you have to perform to be worthy. You honor the frequency inside you. You accept the mission you were given before you were born. You speak to the ones who are ready. You do not lower your vibration to fit the room. You raise the frequency of the entire field. You are not here to survive Earth. You are here to change Earth, and you're already doing it. Every time you post, every time you share your story, every time you break down, then get up again and try one more time. That's why you're here. That's why they try to stop you. That's why you've been attacked. That's why the algorithms don't always play fair. That's why people from your past don't know how to talk to you anymore. Because you've shifted timelines. You activated the contract. You remembered. And now you're unstoppable. Because you are not doing this alone. And when we each step into our truth, when we each hold our piece of the frequency, something divine begins to happen. The false grid collapses. The new earth emerges. The veil lifts. And light wins. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.